In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to install Kali Linux as a virtual machine inside Linux. Skip this lecture if you have it already installed and revise the previous lectures to see how to install it on Windows or Apple Mac OS. Now, I already have it downloaded in here in my downloads. And as you can see, this is an archive with a 7Z extension. The actual virtual image is compressed inside this archive. We did this to reduce its size so you can download it quicker. But in order to use this virtual image, we're going to have to uncompress the archive. To do that, you simply have to right-click it and click on Extract here. You're going to need to give it some time to fully uncompress the archive and reveal its content. Perfect. Once this is done, you're going to see a new directory in here that contains the actual image, and you'll notice that this folder ends with .vmware VM. So in order to run this virtual image of Kali Linux, we need to install a virtualization software, and the software that we're going to use is called VMware. I'm going to include its download link in the resources of this lecture, and all you're going to have to do is simply scroll down and click on the Linux version in here. We're going to save it. Once the download is complete, we're going to be able to see it here in our downloads. This is the installer for VMware, the software that we're going to use to run virtual machines inside our current operating system. And to install it, we're first going to need to open our terminal and navigate to the location where we have this installer downloaded, which is in my downloads. So I'm going to use the cd command to change my working directory to downloads. And if I do ls to list all of the files, you'll see we have the file in here. And before running this file, we need to change its permissions to an executable. So to do that, we're going to do chmod +x followed by the file name. I'm going to hit enter. And now if I do ls, you'll notice that the file name is listed in green, meaning that this is an executable. Now, before running this executable, we're going to have to install the Build Essentials package because it is required by this installer to install VMware for us. Now, I'm doing all of these steps on Ubuntu, but installing VMware should be pretty much the same on most Linux and especially Debian-based distributions. So, in order to install the Build Essentials, I'm first going to have to update the list of sources that I can download packages from. And to do that, we're going to do sudo apt-get update. I'm going to input my password. Once the sources are updated, we're ready to install the Build Essentials. So we're going to do sudo apt-get install build essential. We're going to hit enter. I've already installed this, that's why it's automatically installing it for me. But in your case, it's going to ask you to confirm. And all you'll have to do is simply hit enter to confirm that you want to install it. If you don't see any errors at all, it means everything got installed properly. So I'm going to clear the screen and I'm going to do ls one more time just to show you what we want to run. We want to run this executable, which is the same file as this one. And to run executables in Linux, you simply have to do // followed by the executable name. Now also we need to run this as admin. Therefore, I'm going to type sudo before the command. I'm going to hit enter, and we're going to give it some time to extract the installer. And once it's done, we're going to go to all of our software and we're going to run VMware Player. We're going to accept the agreement and click next, accept the license, next. We're going to say we don't want to share data and we click on finish. We're going to put the password and perfect, here we go. During the installation, you might also get an option to either use the free or the paid version. Make sure you select the free one because we're using it for non-commercial use. So right now we're ready to create or open ready virtual machines using VMware. So I'm going to close my terminal window, and the virtual machine that we actually want to run is the customized version of Kali that we just downloaded at the start of the video. So to do that, we're simply going to click on Open a Virtual Machine, or go to File and Open Virtual Machine. We're going to navigate to the location where we downloaded this virtual machine, and as you can see, it's in the downloads. So we're going to go to Downloads. We're going to double click it in here and select the only file that we can select, which is the .vmx file. We're going to double click it. And here we go, we have it imported in here in VMware, and we can easily start it now by clicking on Power On in here. Now, before doing that, I just want to show you how to modify the virtual machine settings. You do not need to do this. I'm simply showing you how to do that so you get an idea on how to modify the settings, because modifying virtual machine settings is always the same regardless of what type of virtual machine it is. So we're going to click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings in here to modify the settings. And as you can see, the first thing that you can modify is the amount of memory that the virtual machine has. And you can increase it or decrease it by moving the slider. It's set to 2 GB by default, and that is good. So I'm going to keep it at that. Next, you can modify the number of processors that the machine has. Again, it's set to 2 by default. I'm going to keep it at that because that's pretty good. You can also modify the network settings, and as you can see right now it's set to use a NAT network. We're also going to keep this as NAT. This is great because this setting will basically create a virtual network where my host machine is going to be the router for this network, and then all the virtual machines are going to be clients connected to this network. So they're going to get internet connection from my host machine. And at the same time, all of my virtual machines will be connected to the same virtual network. This is very handy because my virtual machines will be able to communicate with each other, and therefore will be able to use the Kali machine to hack into the others, will be able to test network attacks, and do much more. So this setting will first allow my virtual machines to have internet connection, and it will also allow them to communicate with each other through this virtual NAT network. Now, this virtual network will rely on the connection of your host computer. So it will not need any extra interfaces. It will not need any extra adapters. And as far as the virtual machines are concerned, they are connected to an Ethernet network, but in reality, they are connected through the host machine. Finally, you can also modify the display settings in here, and I usually like to tick this option to accelerate 3D graphics. If you get issues with it, you can untick it, but usually it gives you nicer and smoother animations with virtual machines. So we're gonna save the settings, and we can go ahead and start this virtual machine by selecting it and clicking on Power On in here. We're gonna say I copied it, and we're just going to give it some time to load. Now, this custom image of Kali already comes with VMware Tools, which is a set of plugins that improve the experience of using virtual machines. If you get a pop-up like this, you can click on Download and Install to install the latest one, or you can simply click on Remind Me Later to install it later. And as you can see, if everything goes as expected, you should get the default login screen for Kali. So I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to put the username as root, R-O-O-T, hit enter, and the password is the reverse of that, so it's T-O-O-R. We're going to hit enter and give it some time. And great, as you can see, now we have another operating system, Kali Linux, installed as a virtual machine inside our own main host operating system. Now we can put this in full screen by going to Virtual Machine in here and clicking on Enter Full Screen. The screen should automatically resize, as you can see in here, and in most cases the icons should look normal, but in my case they look small because I have a 4K display. So we're gonna need to manually modify the display settings, and to do that we're gonna right click, go to Settings, click on Display in here from the left, and we're gonna set the scale to 200. I'm gonna click on apply. We're gonna keep the changes, and perfect. Now Kali looks normal for me. You don't have to do this if Kali looked normal from the start. Only if you have a high resolution screen, you might have to do this. Now I know this operating system might look a little bit confusing and scary, but don't worry about it at all. I will teach you how to use it step by step as we go through the course. If you face any issues while installing Kali, check out the featured questions first, and if you don't see your answer, feel free to ask us in the Q&A or in the forums, and we will respond to you within a maximum of 15 hours.